Alrighty folks, it's a pretty typical situation that affects EV drivers throughout the country, is that you get to your charging point and to your despair find that it's been blocked by these inconsiderate BMWs. And at least this one happens to be electric, which makes a slight change, but nonetheless you just can't get your 2-meter charging point to the 2-meter charging cable to the length of 3 cars. So what I did last year was I built myself a 12-meter charging cable, and I've been getting a lot of interest about that, particularly from EV drivers within Ireland. So I just thought I'd do a little video on what it actually is. So at this end, going into the charging point, we have an IEC 62196 Type 2 7-pin infrastructure plug, and coming out of this then we have a cable, and this particular cable is 4x6 square HO7, which is a very flexible and very easy to use sort of a cable, and it's also approved for outdoor usage. So we have 12 meters of this stuff going the length of the land yacht, and its gas guzzler friend here coming all the way down to the car. And on this particular car we have another 7-pin socket and a plug. This would have been a very early rendition of the 62196 Type 2 vehicle inlet, but this plug can be any compatible plug. For example, it can be a 62196 Type 1, or also known as a J1772 plug, which can fit the majority of production EVs for sale. So we're plugged in, got the full length of the cable stretched out, and we're charging at about 6.5 kilowatts at the minute, and our cable here being 6 square, it's actually, I think the sun is probably heating it up more than the current. So that's it. I call it the Icebreaker, and it's served me quite well. Connections inside the plugs are quite simple. In the Type 2 infrastructure plug here, you just go L1, N, and PE, which is permanent earth, and you need another cord then to go from the CP, which is the control pilot, on this plug to the CP pin on the plug that you have going into the car. And in this plug then I have a 220 ohm coding resistor between the PP pin and the PE pin. PP standing for plug present in this case. And this basically tells the charging point here that the cable is capable of handling 32 amps of charging current. And in the plug then, it really depends upon the vehicle. If it's a J1772 connection, there will be required, at the top of my head, I think it's 2 resistors between PP and PE, and also you have a little micro switch in here that breaks that connection to disable the charger before the plug is withdrawn, so that you don't flash the pins disconnecting under load. So that's about it. It's a very simple cable, but I've been getting a lot of requests about where to get the cable and where to get the plugs and so forth, so I just thought I'd do a little intro on that. And it has gotten me out of a tight scrape on many's the occasion, and is actually quite handy at home here for plugging into this charging point, considering the fleet of these German automobiles that I seem to be building up. So that one in the middle, by the way, is the next project after the land yacht here gets on the road. So yeah, that's it. And sorry, just one last thing. I was asked recently on a video what I've been doing with the 3 Series, and I've been driving it, hence the need for charging it. So I'm charging it now. I have to head back out and go buy some paint. So this car is just driving perfectly. It's just a completely different experience, and hopefully now we'll have the land yacht joining it for its next phase. Okay folks, talk to you soon.